Seasons Ezekiel Elliott, and a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On second and 11 now, Prescott. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Prescott throwing complete to Cobb. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Well, the spark that ignited the Cowboys-Giants rivalry goes back to 1960 when Dallas's first head coach and former New York Giants assistant Tom Landry brought his 0-10 rookie squad into Yankee Stadium. That game would finish a 31-31 tie, the only non-loss in the expansion Cowboys' first season. 6 decades later, still one of the most heated rivalries in the NFL. Heck, even Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett spent 3 seasons in a Giants uniform. And Dallas leads the overall series, including the last 4 meetings. Now Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of the game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now Saquon Barkley. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Shotgun now for Manning. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 34-yard line.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. But he used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Well, the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Randy Gregory. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
You ain't doing nothing. Hey, Charlie.
Now Manning. The tight end, Rhett Ellison, with it. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. $27 yards there, a first down. Well, we see so many good battles in the NFC East, and Cowboys and Giants, they rarely disappoint. They didn't disappoint last year. Cowboys got the better of the Giants both times. Week 2, 20-13, and then in Week 17, a thriller, 36-35. That was a game where Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdown passes. And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
To try again after the sack. Manning being chased out left. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Well, he's going to go for it all. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over here at the 20. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for the...
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Elliott. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
We're going to 54. Why is it? 55. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Mike 55. Mike 55. Mike 55.
Prescott to throw it. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Cobb. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Prescott gets this to the tight end, Jarwin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The veteran safety Antoine Bethea there on the defensive coverage. But prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 14. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll throw again. Prescott. And that is caught. It's Witten for the Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And man, Charles, talking about zinging something in there. And those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Hey, box drop.
At the 32-yard line.
22-jet bomber, get it.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Faking the give to Barkley, now Manning. And he will go down, a Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw is Manning. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Brings up second and 8 at the 3-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8.
47. Everybody count.
Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And all the way down to the 35. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Now Prescott. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Watch the slant. Hey, Haywood. Now.
One final try now for Manning. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach. We can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Here we go. Check, 47. If you don't get this ball,
Draw play, Elliott. Flash the stick skills on that run, but then stop shy of the 35.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Elliott. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Prescott now. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
We're going to 52.
To throw is Prescott. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. Prescott now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football. And he'll get in! Touchdown, Cowboys! A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Extra point by Mara, up and good. And it is 28-0. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after him early.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It's Christian Covington who notches the sack there. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
61, matchbox, light.
Caught right side, Tate. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the and he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. DeMarcus Lawrence. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by the time
we have to leave the booth.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I got wide. Here we go, 46. Mike's 46. Mike's 46.
Prescott from the gun. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Marcus Golden, too much to handle that time, gets the sack. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
47. 47, Mike. That's it. Mike, 47. 26.
3rd and long for Prescott. Looking downfield for Dez. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
On the return, it's Tate.
We got this.
Take over 1st and 10. At
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. This is Barkley. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs.
Let's put that team on the box.
Hey, exit. Get it.
Working from the gun, Manning. Buying time to his left. So he got 9 yards that time, but he needed 10, and it brings up 4th and 1.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
That's to his running back, complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Back now in Arlington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And he's hit and taken down. Sacked. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Hey, Zoo, go, go.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
He won't go down. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Jones throwing on 4th down. And this is incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7, 4th coming. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
You don't want nothing. Here we go, 46. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
26.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Bryant with a catch right side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Elliott. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones, now a desperation throw deep. It got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get them much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
At the Cowboys' 36-yard line.
Get that ball.
Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that will shave one more off this lead.
Giants 7.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Prescott here to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. On 2nd down now. It's Morris. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A big play here for Dallas. 45 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, and now I'm listening to you. So for Dallas, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.